That is art.
I'm here with artist extraordinaire, Domingo Zapata. I get a driver.
Hey, you good? Everybody can paint a dog that looks like a dog.
How is that different to being an artist?
To paint is, you have to feel it. That is creativity, that is passion. Now, if you like this painting, I would sell it to you for 100,000 euros. If you win, it's free. But if I win, then you have to buy it. Being an artist is about painting what you feel, not what you see. In this part of the floor is where I hang the finished pieces.
What's the highest price you've ever sold a painting for?
2 million.
Really?
I said, I want to be an artist. He said, Domingo, get a job. I don't know how to make this world a better place, but I think I know how to make it a beautiful place for the people that can make it better.
I'm here in the 25 Hours Hotel in Dubai, in probably not only the craziest hotel I've ever been in, but undoubtedly the craziest floor and the craziest room with today's podcast guest. I'm here with artist extraordinaire, Domingo Zapata. You
Hello.
can see there. And it's about, I was there for 12 o'clock. It's not 12 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock when I arrived here. And Domingo's already here with his friend, tucking into the Cosmopolitan. So I'm glad that I've been to the gym already, because now I don't feel guilty for the fact that I am on my second Cosmopolitan and almost forced to drink a beer if I don't find my way through the Cosmos. But no, in all seriousness, so Domingo's got the whole floor here in the hotel, and the room that we're in right now, I guess it was a hotel suite or something one day, and it is now his studio. It's a studio, it's a bar, it's a hangout area, and Domingo's been telling me that he wakes up at 5 a.m. Although I'm not sure how much I believe that with these Cosmopolitans.
Oh, well, we start early.
He must go to bed very early to be getting up at 5. But this is where the painting happens, the inspiration happens, and then from kind of 11, 12 o'clock onwards, the working day is finished, and the friends and collectors and everybody comes to hang out, to drink the goods made by Danny. Danny's title is Get Shit Done, I think. Was that right?
I make shit happen.
I make shit happen. So yeah, we're about to go and have a tour of the whole floor, because Domingo's got the whole floor, some of the different bedrooms. He's got friends in there, visiting dignitaries, collectors, family, kids, and I want to see it all. There's paintings on the wall, and we travel by tuk-tuk. So follow me to the tuk-tuk.
All right, vamos.
Well, let's do one.
Jump into my...
Tuk-tuk. Where do I go? On the back?
You go in the back.
I get a driver.
Hey, you good?
Good. Look at this. Best Uber in Dubai. Do I need to pick the destination?
You know what? You should say what room number, but...
The honeymoon suite.
Oh. So, here we go. So here, you see, in this part of the floor is where I hang the finished pieces. So this is like the gallery. This piece is amazing.
Are these pieces, have they got buyers, all of these?
These ones sold a couple of days ago,
So
but they're for sale.
It wasn't a commission.
No. These were all new things.
And tell me, so that says, people like me, fuck people like you. I mean, where's the inspiration, or what does that mean?
You know what? It's Angelina Jolie. So
we all want to fuck Angelina. Don't tell Brad.
Exactly. So this is all the art. Oh, we had some traffic. Even in the Zapata world, we have traffic. Hello.
When did you sell your first piece?
Well, I mean, I sold my first painting in college in London, but
what was it?
It was a painting of these flowers that I did. But then, like I said, I worked in finance for a few years, and I met this amazing collector who loved my work, and they gave me an opportunity. And then from there, I signed with a few different galleries through the years, and here we are today. Whoa! Fast lap. Let's do it. Oh! This is now the real deal. Whoa!
And that first piece you sold, how much did you get paid?
Maybe like 100 quid.
Yeah.
I went to a pizza place. I think it was called Pizza Deep or something. All you can eat for like $3. And then Leicester Square for a movie with the girl I was seeing. And then, I don't know, a couple cocktails in a Mexican restaurant there.
And it was all gone.
And that was it.
What's the highest price you've ever sold a painting for?
2 million.
Really?
Euro.
What was it?
A Mona Lisa.
Okay.
You know, a painting of a Mona Lisa.
Had you done something particularly special to it, like something crazy?
You know, the Louvre did an exhibition, digital immersive exhibition, itinerant exhibition that was about Mona Lisa and its influence in other artists in 500 years. And they commissioned me to do all these different Mona Lisas for that exhibition, which is great. So that's one of them things. All different motifs, different things. And
Hey, Matt here. Thanks for listening to Stripping Off with Matt Haycox. But did you also know I've got another podcast, No Bollocks with Matt Haycox? Both of these are very different. If you're enjoying the deep dives with the guests that I have every week on Stripping Off, then you're going to love the quick, short business tips, strategies and tactics I give you on No Bollocks. This comes out nearly every day. Make sure you go and check it out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to your content, and I'll see you in a future episode.
when I graduated from college in Washington, D.C., my dad said to me, "What are you going to do now?" And I said, "I want to be an artist." And he said, "Domingo, get a job." So at that time, I don't know how old are you? I'm 50. What are you?
44.
44. Okay, so you know. So at that time, and I had a 1-year visa because of studying in the U.S. So there was not many options. I studied political science, and art, and I didn't know what to do. So I started calling numbers, and most of the jobs were finance jobs in Wall Street. So I got a job in Wall Street, and I work as a broker. I did my Series 7, 60, I don't even remember anymore, 63. And I worked for several brokerage firms at that time. And then I ended up working with more into venture capital and dealing with the marketing campaigns and the roadshows. So that was very creative in a way. But I never stopped painting.
I was going to say you were painting as a hobby, painting as a
hobby.
passion.
I never thought, then after years, I didn't think I would have a chance,
What did you study? Have you ever formally studied art, or you've just always done
Oh, no, I formally studied art.
Okay.
But, to paint you have to feel it. They're not going to train you. They're going to train you to create what you see, but not what you feel. So
I always find it not so much just fascinating with art, but fascinating with just life in general, how some people take to one area and others take to another. I mean, obviously you know finance as well, so you can talk finance and art. But I mean, when it comes to art, I mean, I can't even draw. I could draw a box around that pool table, and that really is as good as it gets. But then I can look at someone who, with their eyes closed, can paint the most beautiful painting, and I can speak to them about money or finance, and they won't know the difference between a euro and a dollar. And it's fascinating to me how different parts of the brain work, or different, whether it's backgrounds or educations or whatever. But I mean, literally, you could hold a gun to my head and I could not draw more than a stick man, but I can talk business and finance, all day long.
Well, the beauty of it is maybe that stick figure of a dog that you do, you're like, oh, it doesn't even look like a dog. But it probably is cool. It's about technique. But what they're not going to teach you ever is feelings. So painting what you feel like a kid, like a child, that's the magic. So maybe your dog that doesn't look like a dog, for me, is more interesting than the dog of a very trained artist. I'm going to paint something, but I'm going to use the piano instead of a brush.
Okay.
So the keys is the brush, okay?
I'm already confused.
This is an exercise, right? So you can understand art. You can understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
We're going to paint together because your energy is going to make me play the piano. Spontaneous, okay? No Mozart here. We're just going to go at it and see what happens. Now, the keys will be the brush. The music, the notes, will be the paint, the colors, The music will be the art. What you see when I play the piano is what I'm painting. Okay, so you will close your eyes and then you will see something in your mind. Let's see. I want to know what you see.
Okay. Are these all finished?
Yeah.
How long would something like that take you to do?
25 years.
Yes, good answer. Very good answer.
You like that one? So, come here. Give me your hand. Now, that is art. You know what I saw?
What?
Pink.
It's funny though, because like you'd already told me before we started about seeing from the keys, and in my head I started to see and play out a story.
Exactly.
That to me felt like it was coming from those kids. I tell you, I always feel, because I'm not like a creative guy, I almost feel embarrassed to share. But so I felt a big room, very, very big, grand room. Many years ago, I'm dressed smart, almost like a wealthy guy in the 1800s. And then the music starts to get a bit more depressive. And my girl walks in, who I've been arguing with, and we're up and down and up and down, and then it kind of finishes in a slightly happy way. But I could, let's say, it was obviously me going off with that story, but I could see it all in the room.
There you go. That's art. That is creativity. That is passion. That is what I mean. I don't have a clue how to play the piano. I just play the piano because I'm painting. I've been doing this for years. And I think that if I printed what I just played, that partiture is the work of art. But now it sits in your imagination, in your life, inside of you. So art doesn't have to have a form, doesn't have to have time, doesn't have to have a method or a technique. It just has to have a feeling.
If you had to define the word art, what would you say?
That is it. There's no word. It's almost like, for me, when they say, okay, when they ask me when inspiration comes from, I said, from light. And what does light come? It comes from God. So I guess, and that's the only answer I have. So art is expression of art. Art is expression of God. It's a way of love. It's a way of feeling. It's a way of also, it's history. It's knowing 40 million years ago when the caveman couldn't even speak yet. Dipped its hands in blood and printed on the cave to state existence. And then from there, they were drawing the animals they were hunting. They were drawing, symbols of their life. So through millions of years, we know who we are as humanity because of art. So art is a language. It's a messiah. It's a writer. It's history. It's culture. It's everything.
Can you appreciate things that are not that is not your style? And I guess by that what I mean is very often non-art people go, oh, that's ridiculous. Those pile of bricks just sold for $4 million. That's not art.
But it has a reason.
But I was going to say, even if that's not your thing, do you still look at that and go,
of course.
Everything to me is art.
I collect a lot of art. Things that have inspired me, especially, art. In the last, I like French Impressionism. I like a lot of things that, I like pop culture from New York. So I have Warhol, I have Picasso, I have Miro. I have a lot of artists that I've been collecting through the last 20 years, I sell my art to buy other people's art. That's how obsessed I am with this.
Where do you keep it all? Do you have?
Well, I have a part of the collection is in New York, part of the collection is in Spain.
Always on display, or you have a lot of stuff in storage as well?
No, always on display. Always on display. My house, or my studio in Mallorca, and my house in New York.
Is that where you're from, by the way, Mallorca?
Yeah,
where in Mallorca?
Palma.
Okay. Let me hit you with a mad stat. You are probably not subscribed. Seriously, 58% of the people who listen to this podcast every single week do not hit that subscribe button. That is more than half of you. So let's fix this right now. The goal here is super simple. We grow the podcast, we bring in bigger guests, and we give you even more no bullshit, actionable insights to level up your business and to level up your life. Now in business, you set smart goals. That's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Well, here's one for you. Let's get that 58% down to well below 50% in the next 3 months. So please do me a quick favor. If this podcast has ever given you one good idea, one piece of advice that's helped you or helped your business, then hit that subscribe button. It takes a second, it costs nothing, and it means that I can keep bringing you even bigger and better guests, giving you even bigger and better insights. Go on, do it now. I'll wait. Done? Perfect. Great choice. Let's grow this together.
Okay, so I want to give you this opportunity.
Okay.
Now, if you like this painting, this is about 150,000 euro painting.
Okay.
I would sell it to you for 100,000 euros. If you win, it's free.
Okay.
But if I win, then you have to buy it.
That sounds a serious commitment. Okay, can we clarify the rules?
Clarify the rules.
So, what happens on the black ball? You have to nominate a pocket.
No.
You can put it anywhere. Put it anywhere.
Very simple.
Okay.
We're like, we don't want to play for hours. Very simple. The normal rules. Pop rules, which is, okay, you put the white in, it's 2 shots. You scratch, it's 2 shots. And then you don't have to call any shots. And then the black one, whoever puts it in last wins.
Sounds
and
good.
Whoever puts it in first loses.
Sounds good to me.
All right. You want to go for it?
No, you can break. It's all good.
You sure? You don't know what is going on here, man.
I'm getting hustled. I know what's going on. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, you're gonna be kidding me.
How about that? I should have said 150,000. Aye, man. Those days in Wall Street taught me a lot. Let's see if we can. Oh, there. Ah!
Oh, I thought I thought that's one of mine going in. I mean, I've got all the balls on the table, and I've still got no visibility of a shot.
I'm really bad at this, by the way. I am not good. This is probably one of the best starts I've ever done in my life.
Oh, fuck's sake. Stop. Oh, my God. Who's the most famous person you've painted?
Oh, I painted almost everybody, but
In the flesh or from paintings?
In the flesh. There you go. You see, now we're back to normal. I don't know. I mean, I wanted to paint the Queen of England. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But I painted with the Pope.
Yeah,
so I guess that's the biggest guy.
And when you say painted with the Pope, you actually painted
we both
the
painted
Pope
together.
He's an artist.
Then I painted on him, and then he painted on me.
This is the Pope who just passed recently.
Yeah, Pope Francis. And I was very involved in the charity, in the foundation, Escolas Ocurrentes. I am involved. We're building schools, especially dedicated to arts and sports in very marginal areas with kids that have been abused severely. And we try to give them therapy through art and music and all over the world. So for the last 7 years, I've been, very involved in the charity. And I've done several paintings with the Pope and of the Pope and with the Pope. And we auction them and, to raise capital. We've raised a few million. Amazing. To help these kids that are definitely in need, So another beautiful thing about being an artist and being successful is, like I believe, when you get the light, it's your obligation to reflect it in the ones that don't have it. So I would say that at this point in my life, I saw your T-shirt, I probably have 80% of the money I make goes to charity, and 20% of the money I keep. But most of the business that we do today, we dedicate it to charity. A lot of it, And I like to be involved in especially in any charity that has to do with kids.
I started a charity back in the UK. I wanted to be able to, use my influence, use my contact base. And I was at a football match. I'd gone on my own, and I was doing a deal with the football club. I was financing them at the time. And I was sat in the director's box, and it's half time. I'm on my own, and there's this young boy there, and he's sat in a wheelchair, and he's got some family, and they're all wearing T-shirts saying "Help Alfie Walk." And I was killing time. I thought, I'll go and speak. I imagine Alfie's the one in the wheelchair, and they're trying to raise some money. So I got talking to them, and they basically said they were trying to raise £50,000. And that he had cerebral palsy. He needed a life-changing operation that wasn't available on the National Health Service back in the UK. So they're trying to raise the money. And they said to me, we've been raising now for 14 months or 15 months, and we have to have finished in the next 2 months because that's the time sensitiveness for the operation. So I'm hearing this story, I'm thinking, well, they've been raising 50 grand for 14 months. They must only have a couple of grand left to raise. I thought, I'm gonna give them the rest of the money and make their day. I said, how much have you raised? She says, £1,800.
No.
I'm thinking, have you only raised £1,800 in 14 months? But I guess this kind of leads on to the story. And I said, listen, I'll be honest with you. I said, I really wanted to help you out today and close your funding. I said, I've just met you. I said, I can't give you 48 grand. I said, what I'll do is I'll go pound for pound with you. I said, so let's set a time limit, and whatever you do during that time, I'll match it. And it'll give you some motivation. Nice. So they said, that's amazing. And we took a picture, and the picture ends up in the newspaper by accident, and they started to raise a lot of money. So the kid rings me on Christmas Day, because that's what I set for the limit. And he says, oh, good news, I've raised £18,000.
Nice.
So he raises the 18, I put the 18. To be honest, I ended up doing the balance anyway.
Yeah, of course.
And then, obviously I got to know the family, and you learn with these people, it's not just money they don't have. They don't even know how to deal with a lot of these situations. They've never been, they needed to go to the hospital, they didn't know how to rent a hotel, they didn't know how to deal with the aftercare. So I kind of helped them through everything, and I thought, I really enjoyed the process. I want to do some more of this. And then that's how we formed the charity after that. And I thought, I've got a good network. Whether it's people who do business with me and want to do me a favor, or whether it's people I can ask a favor of, I'll go and use these people. We'll put some great fun events on, because in England, charity events are normally some real shit. It's like, you get dragged to a local rugby club for a terrible event. So I thought, I'm going to put fun events on, use my network, and then we'll take the money and do it for stuff with kids who, we can stay involved in the process. And it was never, I never thought we could raise millions. I thought, look, if we can do a couple of 100,000 a year, but we can see that whole thing through. And I always said, look, we don't make our difference, we make the difference. And whether we spend $2,000 or whether we spend $100,000, I want to do like 100% of that thing, and see that kid's journey through. So we've done a lot of interesting things, but nice. It started for fun by accident.
Is it my turn?
I think it's your second shot of the 2 shots.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm very honest. Very honest.
Thank you. Let's see how far honesty gets you.
Oh. Right.
And bring out some jamon.
See that going miles away. Oh, come on, come on.
Baby, no.
I'll do along the line. Is it?
Yeah, you gotta go forward.
Have you ever painted a celebrity that you really didn't enjoy painting? Really didn't enjoy the situation?
Not really. You know, all my experiences have been good. I mean, you know, I wouldn't go if I already had doubts. You know.
You already kind of get to know them, but like you don't just go blind.
I would never go blind. Yeah.
I got one more.
Okay,
Don't be rushing.
I have a hot stick.
You can't rush the process.
We've got a hot stick here. Wow, look at that. Oh, that was almost. That was a beautiful shot. You good?
Oh, good. Have you worked with AI at all yet?
You know what? Not really. I don't understand AI much, but I think it's a great thing. It's just that I haven't had a chance to check it out. But AI is this, you know, like I said, the thing for me, it's like I don't like NFTs either, you know? I'm a painter. That's what I do. I paint. I paint things, you know? I'm not a digital artist. I'm not, you know, technology is not what I'm looking for. And I paint feelings, so I don't think that a machine can paint my feelings, you know? Although it could probably eventually, but I don't like to, you know, I think like when the whole NFT boom came out, everybody was doing things, and I was like, you know, and I let some people do a few things and this, but you know, I'm a painter. It's what I do. It's like, not because there is money in something, you have to jump on it. Oh, but there is money, let's go look for gold. No, I'm not a gold digger. You know, I am a painter. I will do my paintings, and then, you know, this is how I make a living. I don't want to just be opportunistic. So, digital technology for what I do doesn't count.
Do you still appreciate it though?
Oh yeah, of course I appreciate it, and I have things, but not. I don't want to do them. I don't think I can do them. Ah. Oh
come on.
No!
Oh, you're killing me! You're killing me!
You're almost there.
Oh fuck me! Seriously.
But that one is difficult. Oh,
good shot! Good shot! Good shot!
If that is not amazing.
Oh,
then this happens.
No, I don't know what to do because I don't really want to pot that.
Well,
maybe we'll try and put the blue there. How do you price a painting?
Well, there's many ways, but there's a market price, and that is created by, like everything, by, you know, offer and demand, and then so there is several ways, but normally, you know, paintings are worth what people are aiming to pay for, no?
But when you first started, I guess the
gallery that I was with,
and they just give you, they kind of make it up really. They just say 10K and see if anyone wants to pay it.
The starting price, and then you go according to the demand, and then things change, no? Like I only make 50 paintings a year, so good.
Never felt so much pressure.
Look at that.
Oh my God, that's just fucking dreadful. You think art's something you'll do till the day you die?
Yeah. You know.
You never have bad days. You never get bored. You don't think I'm taking it off.
You know, I mean, you have, like everybody, no? You're up and down, but this is what I do. I don't know. I don't think I can do anything else anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean, would you have a career change, but would you?
No.
Would you retire and just do nothing?
I don't know, you know. I didn't think about it. But I love what I do so much. I don't know if I could stop. I don't remember a day in my life where I wasn't painting or drawing, you know?
One ball each, the pressure's on.
Oof.
Well, there was a definite hit and hope strategy there.
That was just a, let's go, baby. Oh, how about that? Now you have a clear shot.
You see, like in my head, I could put it in there, but I also know the white's going in there at the same time.
That's the problem. Oh.
Oh, fuck me. Oh fuck! I'm spots, aren't I? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness me! Oh, that's impossible. I mean,
Shit.
how the fuck did that even
Oh
happen?
man, that's the problem. Yeah.
I mean, there's a millimeter in it. Oh,
All right. Is it the same way now?
that was very good.
Oh!
Go on, come in.
Come on,
Oh.
mommy. Oh, look at that.
Oh, you got a beautiful setting for it there, haven't you? Oh my god.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
shit.
Oof. Oh. Very good, buddy.
You don't have to. That was just. But if you do want it, you're gonna have it. But you don't have to. But I thought you'd love that.
It's like, I was actually, I do love it. I was looking at those as well I thought they looked good in my daughter's bedroom. The little ones. When we were talking earlier, you said, so I told you I just can't paint. I can't paint and my life depends. I can't draw. I can't do anything. And you said in 3 days you'd be able to teach me to be able to paint a dog as if it looked like a picture.
Like a picture, yeah.
People often say to me, or people often talk about anyone can be an entrepreneur, anyone can be a business owner, and I disagree with that. Because there's people can learn many skills, but there's some things that people just aren't made to be. But I mean, like when you say within 3 days you can paint a dog like a picture, you almost make me think anyone can be an artist. But do you agree with that?
Everybody can paint a dog that looks like a dog.
How is that different to being an artist?
Well, because being an artist is about painting what you feel, not what you see. So for me, your dog has more value than, an hyper-realistic dog. If I want to take a painting that looks like a photograph, I might just get the photograph. When I take a painting, I want to feel something. It's organic, it's alive. It changes every day. Light makes it change. Life makes it change. I don't know how to make this world a better place, but I think I know how to make it a beautiful place for the people that can make it better. So that's my opinion. So yeah, I can teach you how to cook, but why a chef can make something magical and you take the recipe and you can't. It's not about the recipe, it's about the touch.
And I mean, speaking to you and speaking to so many artists, they talk about the fact that it's not for the money, it's for the love and loving everything and they do. But I think people listening to that would also say that it's easy for you to say that when you get paid so much for doing what you love.
Yeah, I would like to take them to when I lived in the Bronx in Bombay with another 3 people for a couple of years when I started. I would like to go to the day when I had to go wait for a pizza place to shut down so that I could get free pizzas where I could eat. It's not that easy, man. It takes, like I said, you said to me, how long did it take you to make that painting? I said, 25 years. Because, this is today. And I say, hey, go ahead and do it. But it's not an easy road. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of discipline, a lot of hours. I didn't have a Cosmopolitan at 12 for the last 25 years, meaning, it didn't start like that.
And did you?
This is only a few years ago that you get to enjoy what you're doing, your moment and your hard work.
When you were living with those 3 guys and, you couldn't afford to eat a pizza, did you see success in your future? Did you ever think there was a big money end, or did you just love what you were doing and you didn't give a fuck?
Well, you know what? I mean, I think that you just, you dream. You have dreams, and then when you dream, you want to make your dreams come true. So of course I still have dreams. Thank God I do.
What do you dream about now?
I cannot tell you, but I do have a lot of dreams. But life is about progress, life is about growth and find yourself in challenges that you change things so that you make them more difficult so you can, get out of the box and create other things. That's my obligation as an artist, is to continue doing that, not being in the stability of the money and that's not, I don't do it for that. I never did it for that. I I am very happy that I get to enjoy while I'm alive, the profits of my hard work. However, as an artist, you're not a better artist because you get paid. You're not gonna be a better artist because you get paid more than others. I think the best artists probably are not recognized, unfortunately.
Is it just brand and publicity that gets people paid? Because I have a terrible eye, and I guess to my naked non-artist eye, I'll look at many artists nowadays and say, well, I can't really tell the difference between him and him, her and him. They have a similar style. That's $500 and that's $5 million. Is the difference just brand?
Well, let's talk about this. Now, do you know what the difference is? And you're an investment guy. So the difference is collateral damage. Now, if you buy a painting that is $500, that is not going anywhere, that you don't like, that you buy just because it's cheap, well, then you get what you buy. If you buy a painting by Picasso that is $50 million, you not only have a piece of history, but you have value, safety. That's the difference. So what gives you safety? The trajectory. Marketing is bullshit. Marketing doesn't make people buy paintings for $2 million or $10 million or $50 million. Marketing puts your name out there to be evaluated as anything. But if you put marketing, people are gonna give you $1 billion just because of your marketing? No. But they might give you $500,000 to start, and then if you're good, they'll give you everything else that they find is okay. So it's the same. Safety is that you have a trajectory that is giving you that. Safety is that you love the painting and you're gonna enjoy it. And you don't care about the money, because I always say to people, it's like, but you think it's a good investment? And I'm like, I thought you were a businessman making a lot of money. Make money in your business. Don't try to make money on these paintings. Okay. These paintings will give you the return on experience, the return on love, the return on safety, the return on, a passion, and the return on investment. Do it at home at your office with your business.
I've always done that when and I know nothing about art other than what I like. I was telling you a minute ago that I over the years have bought a lot of La Chapelle, I've bought a lot of Gavin Bond, and listen, I can understand from the dealers. I can look on ArtNet. I can see, I can see where some investment value should be. But I always take the view: look, if I lose the money, then am I going to enjoy that on my wall? And I think that's Gavin Bond pictures of girls in underwear. Listen, I'm gonna fucking love that all day long. I wish it was worth 50k and not the 10k I paid or whatever the figure was. But if it's worth nothing, then then I'm gonna.
At least you're enjoying, and that's the thing that you gotta look at when you're buying art right now. From a contemporary artist like me that is alive, you want to make an investment, then go to Goldman Sachs and buy an art investment fund, and you have Picasso, Dali, Cezlevi, Fukuda, Warhol, and all these guys, and you are invested to make money. But you might as well just invest in something else. If you want to buy a painting and you're not into, what are you going to do, trade paintings? Now, at the end, the pleasure is to own it, to have it, but also to know that your value of that painting is an asset that has a history.
But obviously, I mentioned brand.
And that's very important.
I mentioned brand, and just think, because wine. I would consider wine almost in the art class. The kind of wines that we drink. A week or two ago, I was with an investor of mine, and we drank a bottle of Screaming Eagle. Mm-hmm. You know Screaming Eagle?
Yeah.
It's only the second bottle I've ever drunk of it. Did I love it? Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Do I think it's probably 10 times more expensive than this Vegas? Do I think it's 10 times better than this? Not at all. To me, we're at a level where they're all amazing wines. Yeah. I'd rather talk about the fact that I've had a great day with you today, drinking this and having fun. That's more important than saying, I drank Screaming Eagle, it's $3,000, $4,000 a bottle. I guess branding does come into play at some point.
Yeah, of course it does. But they don't produce many bottles. They're not everywhere. It's more exclusive. I mean, I think in these things, you don't need to concentrate at all in what they cost. I go to certain restaurants and I don't care about the bill. I just want to have the experience. So when you start valuing wine, okay, you can find wines that are €10 that are amazing, incredible. When you drink a Hominy Conti, that is €70,000 bottle, okay? Then what are you really drinking? You're drinking history, because that's from Roman times. So these winners are so old that the root is down like into like the minerals, everything that is absorbing is so incredible, and it's so small that the production is very minimal and is amazing. Now, 200 meters from it, you have other, but they don't have 2,000 years history. They're not deep in there. So this is what you're paying. You're paying history. You're paying something that almost nobody in the world can have. You're enjoying that experience. You are getting return on experience. Again, not an investment. So if you take away the value of things like that, then maybe you will like that wine. But you're saying, is this worth €3,000? Fuck no. But you're just thinking about the money. Now, just close your eyes and just drink it.
Yeah.
And then be like, fuck. And then they tell you, oh, it has 2,000 years of history. And then you're like, how fortunate I am to be alive and be able to taste this.
Do you feel...
That's art as well.
No, I'm so with you. I mean, do you feel the same logic with many luxury items? I mean, obviously, I've noticed your watch when we came in. I mean, the rarest of rare Pateks.
Yeah.
And I love Pateks. I've had various Pateks over the years, and it's funny. People. I know so many people that go Patek, but I think the reason you like it is because it sells in the aftermarket for more than it sells at retail. Yeah. Would you? I'm not saying I'm that person, but all these people that love it, you love it because you can buy it in the store for 45k, if you could buy it in the store for 45k, and it sells for 150k, or it's 200k and it sells for $1 million. That's why you love it. If I told you buy it in the store for 200k and tomorrow it's worth 70k, do you love it so much, or all of a sudden the art goes out the window?
I'll tell you what. I got this as it was $55,000.
Right.
But wait, when I got this, I didn't know that it would be worth $3-4 million. So I got it because I loved it and I had an opportunity to get it. So I bought it, but not knowing what's going to happen to this watch. Now, I would never sell it, even if they gave me $4 million. Why would I sell it? I love it.
Yeah.
My business is not selling watches. My business is creating beautiful art. So that's what I mean. When I got it, I threw an opportunity because I love the Tiffany color, and I had the Rolex that is Tiffany, and I collect, like I said, I collect art and I collect watches, and I like to have it, but I would never sell anything that I collect.
What other watches do you like?
I like Rolex, I like Patek, I like Richard Mille, I like everything, man. I like anything, and by saying that, I love the Omega Swatch, that they made. I about the moon and this. There's so many things that it depends on what cuts your eye, but I never consider price.
Yep.
If I like something, I say, can I afford it? Okay, if I can afford it, then I'm gonna buy it. But never thinking about the value. Only what does it take for me to get something that I love, that I think is gonna make me feel better? Because if you have a watch and you can have any watch, an Apple Watch, and it's gonna give you the time. But when I look at my watch, I look about my life, my success. It encourages me. It challenges me to keep doing things. Because I'm like, I come from this humble background and look what I got. And this reminds me of where I am. It makes me feel good. For me, only for me.
When looking at that the other way around, when you sell a painting for $1 million, $500,000, when you told me earlier you sold a painting for $2 million, I mean,
Oh, not one, a lot.
oh,
of
okay.
course.
Do you? I mean, do you look back at yourself and think, "Fuck, I was that guy that couldn't afford a pizza. I've just sold a painting for $2 million." Or if that same guy said to you, "I'm not going to pay you $2 million," because you talk about it being for love. If he said to you, "I'm not going to pay you $2 million, I'm going to pay you $1 million," do you still sell it, or do you also have the finance and the science as well as you are? So, well, listen, I can sell it for $2 million, so so you're paying that $2 million.
Not really. Like, I mean, these special paintings are expensive, and you have to respect the price because you respect the people that bought it, you know? So you can't just, just think of it. You cannot just, change the prices because you like someone, because this, that. At the end, I normally give people that start at the very beginning, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna start a collection, then on the first painting, I'll give you a discount. But from there on, the price is the price. So we do like...
And how does the price work? It changes every year, it changes with the season?
Again, it depends on the demand, If I get 2,000 calls to buy paintings tomorrow, then I'm not gonna sell them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, okay, wait a minute, what have I done so that this is happening? And so it's about offer and demand, like everything. Maybe nobody wants my paintings next year. Maybe something happens, and and it's over. Then the prices go down. There's no demand. So it's not about me. It's not about you putting the price or not. It's about what people are willing to pay. So the same. If this rhino, beautiful pink rhino, is nobody wants it in 5 years, well, I think I might look for a new job, But if every time somebody sees it, wants it, well then, like everything, value, you gotta get paid for it. That.
Have you made any what you would consider terrible career mistakes? There's a particular painting or a particular situation.
No, I'm not very. You know what? There's no mistakes because I'm a very normal person. At the end, considering everything that you see, but I cannot make a mistake. What mistake? My only mistake would be to be lazy, not to paint, or to drive myself into painting commercially and not exclusively. That would be a mistake. To sell myself to merchandising, to sell myself to massive.
Do you think that is a mistake?
A huge mistake.
Why?
Because
a lot of
the difference between a picture of that rhino. You can take a picture now, and the painting. You know what the difference is?
One's real, one's not, right?
No, one is a picture and one is a painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real painting. 150,000 euro. That's the difference. So, if you want to get the real thing, you have to pay for it. Like everything. You want to buy a good watch, a good car, a good meal. You can get a grilled cheese sandwich. It can be shit. And you can make a beautiful grilled cheese sandwich that is
But it's interesting what you say about...
You got to pay for it.
One's real, one's not. So I, 2 or 3 years ago, I bought a Bored Ape. The NFT. Now I bought one, to be clear. If I could have chosen any Bored Ape of the 10,000 they made, it would have been that one. It was, it was smoking a cigar. It was wearing a jacket. It had a tattoo. It was everything about me. Yes, I could have screenshot it and had exactly the same thing on the wall. But I also know it wasn't in the same way I could have a fake Patek.
Yeah.
And for me, A, I knew it was what it was, but B, it put me in that club. It put me with the other Bored Ape owners, with the other Patek owners.
It's about how you feel. It's about how you feel. It's what I said. It's not about the price and the value. It's about how you feel when you love something, when something motivates you, when something makes you want to do more, create more. That's what it is about. That you feel, okay, I did a good job. I came from here and I was able to achieve this beautiful piece of art that I love. At the end, that's what it is.
I noticed,
to look at it and be proud of yourself.
I noticed Keith Richards on the wall, and obviously we're drinking wine following our Cosmopolitans at about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. A lot of the most famous, I'll say artists, but I typically talk about musicians, but I guess people in the creative space, a lot of the most creative people are known for their chronic drug abuse, alcohol abuse, etc. But these people also cite that as the reason for their creativity, for the reason of their success. You know, like I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan.
Yeah.
And they always talk about that. You know,
I know Axel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've got tickets now. Are you back next week? Do you want to come with me next week to come and see Axel?
Maybe.
In Abu Dhabi. So, I mean, they talk about the best albums and best songs they made. You know, they talk about the fact that during their most fucked up drug abuse times, they had the best creativity. They made the best stuff. Yeah. How much do you believe, or can you relate?
Never. I you know what? I don't drink when I paint normally. I mean, sometimes I get excited, and then most likely I will delete what I did when I. You know, I think that for me, the responsibility is so high that I cannot be high when I'm working. However, I understand that in other like in music and in other arts, you know, that can open. For me, I was always, you know, I was never a big fan of getting fucked up. I like to, if I'm going to have fun, then I want to have fun and do something fun. Go to a concert, go to this, you know. In New York especially, where, you know, the freedom is bigger. But for working, I like to stay focused and stay in my place.
And why are some of these people so successful in a state of being so fucked?
Well, I guess practice, like Churchill said. You know, I like to wake up early and paint and then do my job and express myself in that way. Not saying that I haven't experimented with painting, you know, while I've been under an influence of a drug or whatever. You know?
It looks like one of my stick dogs.
No. I'm sure it probably looks great, but you know, I mean, my discipline, and in this world, you must have disciplines. Maybe back in the day, 40, 50 years ago, in the 70s, you know, they came from so much repression that you need to open up and all that. For me, my life, considering the challenges that I've had, but I've never had to experience what maybe artists in the 40s during the Second World War or had to experience, or, you know, being exiled, forced to be in situations, abuse and immigrants, and we just saw the brutalist, and it tells so many stories about people that have struggled so much. Fortunately for me, my career has been pretty straightforward. I've struggled like everybody, you know, and I got to a point where I'm comfortable, and then now I can experiment and do different things. But I'm 50, so I'm not gonna get fucked up to paint because it's too late, and I have 2 kids, and I have, you know, a wife that is, you know, like the policía,
you're married
the police.
Now? But where is she? She's here?
She is now here. She comes back and forth from Spain. You know. So, you know, I mean, at the end, when I work, but it's been like that all my life. I just kind of did it straight from my heart without an intermediary. That's for work. Now, for fun, let's just have fun. This summer in Mallorca.
Cheers, let's have fun.
It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you, man.
I've genuinely loved today so much. Like, I was making a video earlier saying that, you know, I feel very privileged.
I hope you know, this experience doesn't make you quit making podcasts.
Absolutely not. In all seriousness, the opposite. I was making a little video when we started saying that I feel very privileged to have a podcast because I get to meet all kinds of different people, and everybody's so different. I mean, I could meet the most boring guy in the world with the most incredible knowledge. And I love that podcast. Yeah. Literally last week, I did a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, but it's kind of boring, huh?
but the knowledge is interesting. You know, last week I did a 2-hour podcast with a gang killer from California.
A gang killer? You mean like
he was in a gang and he shot up a car
here?
No, in California.
Oh, you were in California?
No, we did it on Zoom. I didn't want to get too close to him in case he pulled out that gun.
Be careful, Papi. No, but I give you a glass of wine. He might give you a bullet.
But you know,
he doesn't like what you say.
We were talking 2 hours about, you know, life in jail and killing people, and you know, I get to experience these incredible conversations with people that I feel very fortunate to do. But you know, today has been an utterly unique
Thank you.
day.
It's a pleasure.
And even though I got my ass kicked at pool, I mean, I lost on purpose because I didn't want to. You have to give that painting away. But I'm going to look forward to you painting the first boba that's ever been painted, a famous artist. So, Domingo.
All right.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Every day I'm hustling.